What's up? How you doing? How you
I, I'm
doing?
great. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Listen, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that you even having me sit on this new seat and one of the first people. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you do a lot of different things out in the community and where you are from. And I just want people to know a little bit about what got you into, what is Empowering Greatness Inc. What got you
Mhm.
started?
Wow. So Empowering Greatness Inc. started as a brainchild when I actually would volunteer at my son's school. So I was a volunteer guidance counselor for the high school, helping to prep for all the teenagers going to college, getting them ready for SATs, college applications. And I realized that as I began to talk to the students, a lot of them didn't want to go to college. It was like, why do I have to go? I don't want to go. And I said, well, if you don't go to college, what are you going to do? So the conversations began. And I realized that a lot of them had a lot of talent that could be cultivated. They just didn't have resources and education around cultivating that talent into an actual business. So I began to mentor and teach entrepreneurship. So that's how Empowering Greatness came about, because it was simply a way for me to empower these youth. And it turned into a full fledged business maybe about 4 or 5 years later, because I realized that in helping the students, I also began to help their parents. And then in helping their parents, I began to get referrals. And then people would go, oh, so I know someone who wants to start a business. And then it began, I know someone who has a business, but their business is not thriving, their business is not flourishing. And I decided to craft this program to kind of teach people how to thrive and grow within entrepreneurship, within business ownership. And I geared it toward people of color because we have the least amount of access to foundational tools to build
Mhm.
businesses. And that's where it kind of all sparked from.
Well, beautiful story, honestly. And the fact that it is so needed all throughout the country in our
Absolutely.
communities, this is real. I mean, every other Thursday, I get to sit down with Curtis Calhoun, and he shares tips that he uses for clients to empower them. And it's in a wide variety of things. Because as you just said,
Mhm,
there you were starting with youth, and you realize these same tools and
mhm.
tips that you were giving them are helping their families, helping their parents. This is a beautiful story. So, tell us a bit about some of the things that you walk a client through so that they can, begin to get those foundational tools under their belt.
So it all starts with mindset. So to be a client with me, you have to be vulnerable and open to change, because a lot of times people think that they know what it is to be an entrepreneur, or that they can just Google it and say, hey, well, they said I need this, this, and this. So what does that mean to you? So it really starts with the self. So I work with people on their mindset, what that looks like, how they manage themselves at home, how they manage themselves on the job, how to change their mindset from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. And then we begin to tackle exactly what it is that they want to do. We begin to build that process out. So people go, oh, well, that's just a business plan. It is. But do you know how many people have somebody else write their business plan?
Mm.
And they don't even really understand the nature and the crux of their business. They just want to hurry up, get it done, and move fast. So my method is slower, but it's proven in the long run, because people then begin to understand their business. They begin to know their business. They begin to know themselves as entrepreneurs. Then we start going into all of the tools around financing and budgeting. A lot of people think I can just be an entrepreneur, not understanding financially what that looks like. So I take them on a series of steps, hand holding. I do it in group sessions, but I also do it on one-to-one basis, because I find that the assignments that they get, so it's almost like school,
Mm.
because they're learning to relearn how to really be a business owner and to be productive and to grow their businesses and to do all of these things. So, yeah,
Yeah, learning to relearn.
yeah,
That is key.
yeah.
So I really appreciate this because you're so right. I think oftentimes people get into business and they think, oh, I got this down because the idea is there and the idea is strong. So it comes with its own set of energies, right?
Absolutely.
And so sometimes they just need that other person to kind of come in so they can really level up. This is beautiful. I mean, when you think about now, having a business throughout COVID. I mean,
Mm.
I think a lot of business owners have definitely had to make that adjustment. Tell us about some of the ways that you were able to continue empowering greatness through this pandemic.
Actually, empowering greatness flourished through the pandemic because everybody lost their jobs. And people were like, what am I going to do for money? And then people were like, oh my God, I think I have an idea for a business. And that's where I came in because I literally was able to help. I think, if my stats are correct, I think I helped about 65 people over the course of the pandemic get their business plans in short order, mindset, all the foundational tools, and then flourish. We incorporated businesses. I held their hand all the way through, and they're still flourishing to this day.
That's a beautiful
Yeah.
success story, Miss Frazier. I that right there is gave me some little bit of goosies because we always, and I say this so many times, we understand that our economics here in this country really are built on the
Hmm.
backbone of small business. And I think particularly in Black and brown communities, we have to be able to understand that those ideas, not only are they good for whatever you're using them for,
Right.
but when you bring them out as a
Mm.
business entity, you really reap so many more benefits because now you're talking about creating something that may create generational wealth. You can pass it down to your kids. These are tools and tips and tricks that you can use personally, but also professionally while helping other people. So I love this entire thing. Of course, we're over here on the West Coast. So I got to ask, I mean, do you take clients from all over? How do you build your client base?
I take clients from all over. I've got clients in Wisconsin, Chicago. I've got clients in Minnesota. I've got clients in New York, New Jersey, Philly, Atlanta. I'm all over.
Well, this is great
Yeah.
because now we get to experience your greatness as empowering greatness right here. Make sure you look right there and let the folks know how they can find you, catch up with you if they need your coaching.
So, Empowering Greatness can be found on all social media platforms, excluding Twitter. And it is Empower Great. That's it, at Empower Great. And if you would like to visit my website, it's www.empowergreat.com. My business line is there. Email, you can get in contact with me. If you are all about social media, then you can also DM me as well.
Oh, Miss
Yeah.
Rasheeda Frazier, thank you so much
Oh, you are
for
welcome.
gracing us with your presence. And I can tell that you definitely empower greatness because you embody greatness. So thank you so much for being with me
Thank
today.
you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I told